nuclear bombs create enough heat and light upon detonation to set nearby objects on fire. They can also cause terrible burns to humans. However, the effects can be greatly reduced by your choice of clothing. There are 3 aspects to consider when choosing your wardrobe in a nuclear war. First is fit. Loose-fitting clothes are better than tight clothes because the gap between the fabric and your skin will provide insulation from the heat. More important, however, is the material. When heated, natural materials will burn or char. Synthetics, on the other hand, usually melt. Synthetic fibers are basically just plastic, and having melted plastic stuck to your skin makes it much more difficult to treat burns. So avoid fabrics like nylon, polyester, or rayon. Go for fabrics like cotton, linen, and wool. Even leather is a good alternative because it too will char instead of melting. But perhaps the most important factor is color. As we all know, wearing a black shirt on a sunny day will keep you much warmer than wearing a white shirt on a sunny day. White is white, after all, because it reflects all of the light that touches it. And black is black because it absorbs all of the light. So, you need to wear white. And unfortunately, we have evidence to prove that this method is actually helpful. When looking at photos of burn victims from Hiroshima and Nagasaki, you can clearly tell which parts of the body were covered in dark fabric because the burns there were much more severe. Such photos are obviously quite graphic and I'm not going to show them on YouTube. However, there is a link in the description if you're curious. So, wear white. White shirt, white pants, white gloves, white everything. I also have this white cloth that's thin enough for me to see through, and I'll wear it over my face for extra protection. I am also going to wear leather boots because I don't want plastic stuck to my feet during an emergency. Granted, the tongue is synthetic, but it's mostly covered by my pants, and it's thick enough that it will probably avoid melting onto my feet for the few seconds that it has to. And of course, my boots are brown and green right now. If we were in a nuclear war, I would paint them white. Last but not least, you'll want some sort of white hat. But it's worth noting that reflectivity is the key here, not necessarily whiteness itself. So, this is one of very few circumstances in which a foil hat can actually do you a lot of good. It may not block cell phone radiation, but it definitely does block thermal radiation. As you can see, I am now relatively safe from the thermal effects of a nuclear bomb. This is what preparedness looks like in the nuclear age. Before I end the video, there is one last point I would like to make. Dark-colored clothing absorbs heat better than light-colored clothing. And unfortunately, the same is also true for skin. This is why I believe that using nuclear bombs against humans is racist. The darker the victim's skin, the more intense their burns are going to be. We will discuss the inequalities of nuclear weapons more in the future, but for now, suffice it to say that many of their effects are demographically disproportionate. The next episode in this series will be about how to survive the blast effects. And thank you for watching.